I'm grabbing some faux pumpkins I have in storage. You'll want to be on the lookout for any faux crafting pumpkin that is hollow inside. However, most of this tutorial can be used on real pumpkins as well. Now I'm sketching some pumpkin templates, then creating designs where I'm going to drill holes. Here are several different ways. Turning the pumpkins to the plain side, I'm drawing curvy lines on the pumpkin surface, then choosing a small and large drill bit to drill holes along each line. Another easy way is by holding a stencil called Vent Holes by Funky Junk's Old Sign Stencils and drilling right through the stencil images. You'll want to be sure that all the holes are drilled as clean as can be. This can be done by sliding a drill bit through the holes several times over while on or off the drill. To create straight hole stripes, I'm attaching painter's tape from the pumpkin stem all the way to the bottom. Then using 2 different drill size bits, I'm drilling holes right through the tape and then removing it once complete. Now I'm placing each drilled pumpkin side on top of a bare light bulb to test if the holes are large enough for the light to penetrate through. I'm neutralizing the pumpkins by painting them 2 coats of a soft white called Raw Silk by Fusion Mineral Paint. I'm painting the entire outsides of the pumpkins, including any inner face carved sections. To freshen up the pumpkin stems, I'm painting them in a combination of a light and dark tan. Now I'm drilling through the holes one last time to open up any holes the paint may have covered. After the pumpkins are dry, I'm creating a realistic shading by brushing on some antiquing glaze, then wiping it off with a rag. The glaze will create depth with shadows in the grooves while also toning down the bright white to a more natural tone. After charging up solar lights for the entire day in the bright sunshine, I'm removing the stands and placing the bulbs in jars and mason jar rims. Each solar light is being positioned inside the pumpkins. Then all that's left to do is arrange your pumpkins with the theme desired facing you, decorate around them as desired, and enjoy that fall view. By day, the pumpkins offer such a pretty look that totally spells fall, whether they're set along some stairs or placed to greet guests by your front door. Then with a simple turn, you're in instant Halloween mode without doing an extra thing. Unless, of course, you wish to add a few creepy critters. It couldn't be quicker or easier to decorate for Halloween in such a jiffy. I hope this inspires you to get your fall glow on with a few faux pumpkins and solar lights of your own this fall season. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and I'll catch you next time.
I'm just using my box cutting blade to try to carefully cut through the foam. And once I cut around, I'm just going to remove the stem, discard that. I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing on the bottom. So the large pumpkin has a hole in the top and the bottom. The medium pumpkin has a hole in the top and the bottom. And then I have a little smaller pumpkin, and I'm going to cut a hole in the bottom. Just have to remove that little piece. I have my drill, and I have a longer drill bit on it, and I'm gonna just drill some holes around each of the pumpkins. So I want to give these pumpkins a little bit more of a realistic look, and I'm just taking a small amount of brown paint, and I'm just following the ridges of the pumpkin. Give it a little more dimension. While my glue gun is heating up, I'm taking a small string of Christmas lights, and I'm starting with the smaller pumpkin. I'm going to pop some in there. I'm not sticking them through the holes. The light's going to glow out of them, almost like we have candles inside of them. And then I'm just going to put the whole thing into the top of the middle pumpkin and run it out the bottom, and then into the biggest pumpkin. The top of the biggest one, and then we want the end of the plug coming out the bottom of the hole so we can plug it into the outlet out on my porch. Now I'm going to glue the pumpkins together. Glue the medium one on top of the largest one. I left some of the end of the light sticking out of the bottom. Now I'm going to put some glue on and then add that small one on top. Tuck the lights back into the top one. And now I'm going to add a stem. This is an old real pumpkin stem. You can save them from the old pumpkins. Just put them in a bag somewhere and use them the next year. And I'm just going to glue that to the top. And then I can bring it outside and style it on the porch. I cut some bittersweet vine from my backyard, and I'm just going to wrap it around the sections of the pumpkins. And here's our little pumpkin topiaries at night. I'm Jennifer Howard from Cottage on Bunker Hill. Thank you for watching Home Talk, and I'll see you next time.
Add succulents to your fall decor by making this faux succulent pumpkin planter. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull off the stem. And then what we're going to do is we want to cut this section of the pumpkin out. And the way that I found the easiest way to do that is to take a screwdriver and just poke holes. And then we're going to take a utility knife and we're going to cut along the holes. Now what you're going to want to do is remove the center. And then, so you don't see the white of the foam, we're just going to use some Spanish moss. And you're just going to lay the Spanish moss on top. So there's one really easy craft project, and how cute is that? And because they're not real, they'll last forever. This next studded pumpkin brings a whole new edge to your Halloween decorations. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the thumbtacks and we're going to follow the ridges of the pumpkin. And that's what it's going to look like. I don't know, it's kind of cool. I think it gives it a little an industrial look. It's very cool. A quick sewn cloth pumpkin will be our final craft. Choosing different fabrics and patterns will easily diversify your fall decor. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to close it and make like a tube. So you can, if you have a sewing machine, you're just going to put it here and you're just going to sew it up. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can use fabric glue, you can use tacky glue, you can use hot glue. I'm just going to use hot glue because it's faster. Okay, so that's sealed. Then what you're going to do is you're going to start on the one end and we're going to do a running stitch. So you're going to go in, out. And we're just going to gather this together. So it's very simple to do. So all you're going to do is take the ends of your thread and just tie them together and pull. After it's gathered, you just want to make a knot. Now you're going to take this and turn it right side out. So you're just going to fill your pumpkin, kind of press it down in there. You don't want a whole lot, you don't want it stiff, but you want to have some fill in there. Then what you're going to do, you need to close the pumpkin. So we're going to put these two edges together and we're going to do another running stitch along the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the string and I'm just going to cut a piece off. And how you do this is almost like tying a gift, like you're putting ribbon on a gift. So there you go. Look at that. How cute. Okay. The last thing we need is a stem. What I like to use for a stem is just a piece of wood. This is just a branch that I cut off a tree. Well, it was a dead branch. And you're just going to use hot glue. So you're just going to put some hot glue on the branch and you're just going to stick it down in the pumpkin. And you can make it any size. I mean, I made tall ones, fat ones, little tiny ones. You can use any kind of material, anything to coordinate with your room. I hope I inspired you to create your own no-carve pumpkins to decorate your home this fall.
For a full list of materials and step-by-step instructions, go to www.hometalk.com.